So my first questions would be for Michael. Michael, thank you for coming this event today. And what is your feeling? I know personally that you are, you read lot ChatGPT and AI/ML things. Especially you do AI/ML stuff, lot of things. So what is your feeling that how AI/ML is coming to the market and how it will help the business?
Yeah, so I think it'll really make a ChatGPT applied AI, machine learning, neural networks, the whole flow will really make a major impact in a lot of ways. I think if you kind of break it down and look at how it can apply to particular business use cases, I think one thing to think about is that a lot of businesses, they will need to actually train their own kind of data to make predictions or to be able to generate any type of usefulness for their particular situation. And so each business will have to, again, kind of take data from their internal kind of systems, apply that with the models that are being developed and things like that to really get useful and kind of interesting insight about things that they can do inside of their business. Now, more generally, ChatGPT and things like that can be very useful in a number of kind of use cases where general knowledge or general kind of like things that have already been scraped on the web can be applied. And so I think there's just a ton of use cases, more to come in ways that we may not even imagine now. So I'm really excited about the applied AI, ChatGPT, and just machine learning generally.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, for your excellent opinion on that. And I know I want to go with Jan Smith. So I have heard a lot of time Jan Smith. We had long days. We had a talk about that. Probably that time it was not named as a ChatGPT, but you were talking a lot about that. So Jan, what do you think that ChatGPT will make a lot of impact to the business, or or it will help for the developers to make the more efficient businesses software and make more of the automation stuff? Or you feel like it's same, we can train our own model, it doesn't need of ChatGPT help? Or you feel like ChatGPT, GPT-4 or whatever the next thing come, it will be revolutionary to the market?
Yes, I think it is a real revolution for the market. Now, my personal, let's say, experience with it is mainly about text generating capabilities and a little bit less on the imaging side. But there I'm impressed every day about what it can do and what kind of different applications there are for it. I think that everything which is all jobs which have to do with text creation, website design and things like that, it's real neat that the people involved in that have to use ChatGPT, I think, to make themselves much more productive. ChatGPT or similar things coming from Google or others in the near future. If they don't do that, I think others will, and will probably take their job. So I think it's really important that people embrace it and take advantage of it. But you have to see it as a tool. I don't think it will always need humans to, let's say, control what it's generating and improve it. So I don't expect that one day it will be able to fully work on its own. There will always be a human aspect to it to remove the mistakes it makes and to correct it.
So I know you use a lot in ChatGPT, Michael, and Jan. So Jan, would you like to tell any of the tools you use ChatGPT and is helping you a lot?
Well, in my case, it's purely on my project LeadView that I'm experimenting with it to see what could we do in LeadView where we make use of ChatGPT. Now, the things, I think it's writing all kind of marketing text, making product descriptions, making emails, I would say draft emails. So always with the idea that a human can improve the text and check if what it's writing is correct. A major issue of it is that sometimes it just makes up things. It comes with false information. and it gives you grammatically and the words they're using are all correct, but it's just giving false information. So that's a very important thing that people must correct it. Where I also see, I've also done some tests to see if it could be helpful in jobs like planning, where I think it has quite strong mathematic capabilities, so it can take care of a lot of information and structure it in, like, for planning, what do you do first? I mean, we have in our company, we have like a technical support department where our people visit the clients. Today it's a person doing this planning where he tries to take care of the knowledge of the people, because we have different kinds of equipment and not every technician can handle all those. So I've done some tests with ChatGPT. Would it be able to organize the planning? And I must say the outcomes were really very good. So I think that's also something in planning for logistics, for technicians, for all kind of things, where you try to order things efficiently. Another thing which I think it can be helpful is like if you build web shops, then usually you must categorize your products and also make them filterable on certain attributes. Now I think that I've done some experiments also where we try to let ChatGPT automatically assign the right thing. So try to figure out of the name of a product what color it is, things like that. It can do automatically, and I think all this kind of jobs are extremely time consuming, but also nobody really likes to do that kind of jobs. So it will take away jobs which, like I say, which nobody likes to do.
Go ahead, Michael.
I'll just add one extra point to that that's really kind of interesting. It's related to advice. And so imagine you queried one of these language models and you asked a question like, what career should I pursue, or something to that effect. And you tell them what your major is or what your interests are, or whatever that flow looks like. And I think what's useful about, and this can be applied to other advice-seeking kind of like questions or other domains. And I think one thing that's worth what's interesting about it is that can be applied to a number of other kind of advice-seeking domains. And when there are issues, I think as these models become more advanced, you don't have to rely on just one. So we're referring to a ChatGPT, but there's others out there. And so imagine you had a whole slew of these kind of models, and they gave you a mean kind of answer. And that can help guide people when they need quick advice, or maybe and quick expert advice. And I think that's a very interesting kind of concept around being able to lean on the shoulders of giants to get insight about how to maneuver or how to position yourself in a number of fields, a number of avenues, or just kind of that decision-making process generally. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Michael, for your comment. I'd like to go to the Bobak. Bobak, full projects now depend on AI, and he is really doing a great thing. So yesterday he explained me the concept of that and where ChatGPT and AI getting used. So Bobak, what is your thing? Like, it's revolutionary to the world that your project is impacting, and ChatGPT and AI is impacting the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're just getting started to understand what this thing even is. We're living in an iPhone moment, and I want to let that sink in. For those of us who remember 2007 and the iPhone and how our world has changed, we are right now living in an iPhone moment. All that's to say, none of us in this room can fathom how our world is about to change. And I think it's humbling. We need to take time to let that sink in. So, I mean, we're in the AR business, as some of you guys know who work with us. We view AR devices as an extension of your biology, an extension of your mind's eye, and how you perceive the world. Something like GPT and other large language models that increasingly take visual input, like images and video and search, this is an augmentative capability from your biological eyeballs and how they literally perceive the world, the faces you recognize, the text you read, how you navigate the world. You're soon going to have, it's like, Jack Sparrow with a parrot on the shoulder. You're going to have an AI on your shoulder viewing the same world you view and elevating context and intelligence that you can act upon. So we see this as a further amplification of your natural biological powers of mind and sight. And I think we've only just begun to scratch the surface. So that's how we view it.
Thank you, Bobak. I will come to the Subhadip. So Subhadip, do you think ChatGPT will be making in the market in the job industry? So question is do you think it will be impacting to the job industry?
Definitely it's going to change something, but I not completely agree with the ChatGPT. Basically it's somewhat difficult for the student to handle in the depth of the subject matter. And basically when they studied from the ChatGPT, it will be very difficult to in the market in the depth places. But for the market is good. We can train our personal model using ChatGPT also. And basically we can get answer from the ChatGPT and we can train our own model also. That's good. And also we can use their API to create our own services as well. That is in the application level, it's a good help for us. Basically we don't have to be train our own AI. In application level, we can directly access their APIs and we can make our application models. So that is very good. But ChatGPT is very useful and handy tools for the developers. They are used to go with that. But it's not a game changer. I think so.
In that case, Uma, what is your thought? Is it a game changer? Do you think Google Bard or ChatGPT will be impacting mainly the educational things? Lot of people can get a lot of educational things. Uma, what is your thought on that?
So actually, whatever is the current state, as of the today's perspective, I will say it is completely not a game changer, but yeah, definitely the growth of this AI and ML is exponentially. I will say more than exponential. So within a few recent times, there will be a lot of game changes. I can say, but as of now, I can whatever I tell because. As I am web developer, so basically the main thing impact I got that the memorizing of documentations and everything that was we don't need to all those things. Actually, it supports us, but at certain situations certain things that comes to solve the problems even AI and ML cannot solve. So we have to use our own brains and thoughts. Yeah, but definitely AI and ML is going to learn this as well, and in next few maybe we say year or month, it will definitely change.
Thank you for your thought. I'm coming to the next things to the Michael once again. That Michael, do you think it will be having security violations when Bard or ChatGPT or AI ML is coming into the market?
So, really quick before I answer that, I think one thing is really worth noting is that not only are we're in a moment, if you will, where AI is really coming to the forefront, but we're also in a moment where the blockchain is really impacted, the metaverse. So that's really game changing this period. That's totality of three kind of major kind of shifts in how we are and how we may interact with our environments, right? So AR, VR, metaverse, blockchain, AI, all of it's now. And so that really is changing. Not only it's a game changer, just not on the technology point, but just how our societies will function. It's going to really kind of impact everything. And I think governments, institutions, families, society as a whole needs to think about, really be urgently think about how these technologies will impact them and how we can still keep our core, foundations of being humans and the way we currently interact and all those type of things, while also allowing us to leverage these technologies for the goods that we see them as. So I think that's really, I want to share that because it's so many things, and it's really a key inflection point. And so these things are really going to disrupt really the fabric of our society, and that can be in a very positive way or not so positive way. It's really on us as practitioners and our influence to really try to ensure that it is a positive thing. Related to, and I'll just add, this quantum is maybe down the road, and so that'll just be another one. So there's just so many things that'll just impact us. Regarding security, for sure. I mean, it's definitely going to impact security, and it's going to really create more and more security issues. But with that said, the flip side of that same coin is that you can then use that same models to train those security models to be more advanced, to be better, response levels to those threats that are going to come. So.
Thank you, Michael, for that. Now we're going to our next part with Minarul. So Minarul, what is your thought about it? Like, do you think ChatGPT can be used for some of the predictions like climate changes or global poverties, those kind of spaces? Really, AI/ML can help. Whatever, it may not be ChatGPT, but AI/ML can help to climate change predictions, poverty prediction, and some way we can make we can make a stops. Like this time it can be having this problem to solve.
Yes, sir. We have now ChatGPT, AI, ML, so we can moderate through this, and we will get the result. So we have to moderate on this. Basically, we are on the beginning stage, so we have to moderate this because whenever the internet comes, we don't know what will be the output. But now it is internet has the most popular thing over the world. So we have to wait and we have to grow with this technology like AI, ML and ChatGPT, all these things. We can go with this feature, but we have to wait and watch clearly. So we can go with the security violation. So we have to thought on this also. When the PHP technology is coming, on that basis, from the beginning, we will get the security violation also. And nowadays, the security violation is minimum and it's less. So we have to wait and we have to grow with this.
Okay, coming to the point to the Gourav. So Gourav, I know that you are working in a lot of technology. So what do you think? Do you think that ChatGPT will be helping developer mostly? Means how it will help developer? We see a lot of codes we are getting, lot of technology, let's say Python, JavaScript, and I seen Java, all of the codes we are getting it. So if any specific program we finding, so we can easily give a proper prompt to the ChatGPT and ChatGPT giving an answers. I'm not talking about ChatGPT. There are a lot of technologies having coming. So proper answers they are giving, proper codings they are giving. So do you think it will be helping developer and making the development time lesser in the coming future?
Yeah, as a developer, I think that ChatGPT is such kind of models which provides efficiency to the developer perspective. Because in development, we always want to try optimize our codes, as that the code will run the lesser times, it will can create the output very easily. So optimize our codes. I think the ChatGPT is a wonderful tool which can provide us the respective optimization code, and as itself the ChatGPT itself is some models, so it will actually evolve itself also. That means if we submit the same questions multiple times to the ChatGPT, it will try to evolve by itself so that it can give the more accurate or more optimized way the results to the developers or any other persons who try to use it. So I think it is a wonderful thing to be a part of a development, I think. Because in the end of the day, developments is also that we need to implement our human brains, because AI does not give all kind of things. So ultimately, it will help us to provide some kind of stand-up, some kind of functionalities, so that by that help we can create our own logic, so we can optimize it. So I think it is wonderful tools to giving us such opportunity for coding perspectives. Thank you.
I will come to my final questions to Bobak one time more. So the question is that there are, where Jan also saying, like, many boring job will be obsolete from the market. So I'm also hearing from a lot of team members, like the jobs like content writing, translations, then like mid-size kind of jobs where repetitive works there. So those are in danger. So Bobak, do you think is that something is in danger, or there are just is an add-ons actually which helping all of our team members or of all of the employees of any industry will boost their productivity?
I have a very different take on this. I think right now they've productized it as ChatGPT, and I think that it's kind of like our furry friend, and we've all been chatting with it and having fun. I don't think we really understand what this is. I think this thing is coming for most of our work. I think that 90% of software developers who write mediocre code are going to have better code written faster, maintained and corrected, written by a GPT model for cents on the dollar. That will put most of the software industry out of work. It won't make economic sense.
Except for Techno Exponent.
Except for Techno Exponent. And so the question is, what are all these humans gonna do? Like, for the sake of our species, we need to be thinking very seriously about it. For the sake of our children, I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old at home. I'm already thinking about, how do I educate these kids so that they're able to keep their head above water in a world where GPT-10, right? We're talking about GPT-3 and 3.5, GPT-10, GPT-15. We need to be thinking at that level, and it's gonna be brutal if we aren't. So, I think very controversially about this, a little more doomsday than I think most people do, but at its best, I think humans are insanely ingenuitive, and I think that we always create a better future if we choose to. If we seize this moment, this will be wind in our sails. This will push our species to new heights of creation. But if we don't, and if this world continues in the way it is, politically, socially, economically, we're all done for. And the poetry of it, the last point I'll make, is the poetry of our species is that it wasn't an alien that did this to us. We did it to ourselves. Signed, the human race. Anyway, those are my thoughts on your question.
Well, so I want to take some questions from audience. If any audience have any questions on to our guests. Yeah, sure.
Just really quick, just another kind of take on that is that although there will definitely be an impact on jobs, at this time more mid-level roles, but roles where people are with their hands or are more in touch with, like doing things with their hands, unlike the previous revolution where automation kind of eliminated a lot of things. I think those jobs will be less impacted. So I just want to add that as a kind of point, because this is really a kind of a software revolution. We still haven't really mastered robotics enough to kind of get to that next level.
Any questions from audience, or we will be going to the ending notes? Any one of you? Okay, anyone from ending note? Jan, Bobak, Michael, or any of you want to tell some ending notes?
So, sir, I just want to say that as a human, we have to choose the right path. So, whenever we are going to adopt this technology, so we need to think it again before going it. That's it from my side.
Yeah, that's right. Anyone else? Jan, Michael, you want to talk anything? Or you? Yeah, sure.
Basically, nowadays everyone want to know about the future. Should I train our model to predict our future? Somewhere the way the future or human future like that way we can do that. What's your thought about that? And basically, we can train our model that can predict our future according to human intelligence as well, and they can predict our health issues as well. That's we have a cancer if you means diet like that way. If we diet like that way, you have cholesterol and fat and also. So we can means solve the issues for the people. That's they don't have to be eat that much of calorie and that much of things. We can go through the data set like the medical data sets of the affected people. They're already affected in the cholesterol and the sugar and the hypertension or fever. So we can take that data, we can train our model. So what's your thoughts on it to predict our health issues and predict our weather as well? What's your thoughts on it? I want to know.
I want to ask Michael if you have any thought on that.
Can you repeat the question just so I understand?
Yes,
it?
so he wants to mean like what your thought like this AI is predicting the health, predicting the things. So is it predicting the human future as well? So what is your thought on that?
It's kind of meta, but yeah, it's an interesting question. I think I think these models are built. So it's a fun question, but these models are typically built on past data, right? And so, giving that as a kind of a reference point, it'll be hard for it to predict accurately, I think, the future. Because it's really those models are built on past data, right? And so, we don't have any data set where we have, all these AI models, the metaverse, blockchain, probably quantum will be popping, who knows, 10 years. And so there's so many kind of variables that can happen. But I think the key point, just kind of technically speaking, is they're really using old data. And that's even how these hallucinations occur, where they try to say things where, their data models from like 2021, for example. So that's my take on it. It's old data. Maybe it can in the future, but I don't think that's my thought on it.
Jan, do you want to say on that? Like it will be predicting the human future?
Well, then it would be easy. Then we put our money on the stock market, as we already know the outcome. We will never lose. But no, I think the same. That everything is based on old data, and the future is always different. So I don't think we will ever be able to do that.
That's great. So thank you for all to coming and joining with us, and I hope like ChatGPT, BART, or whatever the AI model will be really, cannot predict our future, but obviously it will help human, and it will be developing for human society and making our life better. Thank you all.